So how hard is it to get into the industry?
Well, for the professional that I interviewed, it wasn't that hard because at the time that he decided to experiment with like photography and graphic design, social media was a really good platform, so he was able to share his work on like social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter, and that allowed other people to see his work, and through that he got recognition, and then he got offered jobs until this year.
How did they start off?
My professional started off as a young kid who worked as a runner, 20 years old. From there, that's when he developed his skills. So he started off his franchise film called Fantasy of the Robot, and it was a Russian production. So from there he built up his credits, and now he's like a big Hollywood cinematographer.
Did they want to go into media to start with?
Initially, it was a hobby, so it was just something that they like to do in their spare time, you know, like amongst other people that like to do the same thing, so like flyers for parties and just like animation type of stuff. So yeah, initially it was just a hobby, but then it developed into something a bit more serious, and the passion for a job in the media industry like grew.
What is their schedule like?
Their schedules are, my professional schedule is a bit tight. During the weekends he has meetings from 6 to 5 in the morning, and then most of the weeks he actually works on the production and he tries to fit in time for his family, but he can only regularly just call before a shoot. But other than that, once the whole production is finished, he has like he spends most of his time with his family. So he might have like 3 months break, and then directors might call him up for a new production. So yeah, it's a varying type of schedule. It just goes up and down.
Are there any setbacks?
The main setback that kept on coming up with the 3 interviews that I did was the lack of having a social life, because like with the photographer and the cameraman that I interviewed, it's like on the weekends that's when most of the production is done. With the photographer professional, he gets bookings to like take pictures at weddings, parties, and most of these events happen over the weekend, so that does take away from his social life. He doesn't get to go out as much with his friends or literally go to the events to enjoy it for himself. It's more of a, I'm going to the event to work. So everything is work, work, work. So that was a common theme with all the people that I interviewed, that it took away from their social life.
How do they cope under pressure?
From years' experience, really. My professional said that he started off as a cinematographer from 1958. So from then, years of experience, he's just been used to whatever he's been doing. Like he's been called up for a lot of things simultaneously. So he's been working in different productions. So technically, there his confidence and his ability to do stuff at the same time is just grown really strong.
How hard is it to get into the media industry?
Well, my person I talked to from the interview said it was hard when he started because he was a runner. But he wanted to go into actually filming, doing cameras and whatnot, and he actually ended up going into field research instead. What he's actually now more enjoying.
Where did they start off?
Well, Marlon initially started off as a runner, and he worked his way up slowly. So he went from a runner to obviously he became floor manager after that, and slowly worked his way up to director as well. And just basically.
Did they want to go into the media industry to start off with?
The person I was talking to actually did. He wanted to be a director. And what happened is he actually got a couple of contacts and that's made his own production company. And so he got through that way because he knew he couldn't go straight to bad directing.
Are there any setbacks?
The main setback I'd say was sort of social life, because you have to put like 110% commitment into the work to actually get higher up and climb the ladder. So that you lose out on the social life to an extent, because you don't exactly get to see many people like your friends outside of work and family as well. You know, it can be hard sometimes. So yeah.
What is their schedule like?
The person I was talking to says he doesn't rarely stop because he works on TV. So he does 3-day shoots in the TV studio, what they do around about 3 to 4 shows a day for 3 days. Then they go for meetings for the rest couple of days, and sometimes even shoot on weekends. So they don't really have, like I said, a social life as well.
How do they cope under pressure?
Well, it's just about experience, to be honest. Like certain people, like one person I interviewed was sort of just starting off, and so they weren't used to the pressure. You know, weren't used to worrying about having to do certain jobs all at the same time. But then, sort of like the older people that I interviewed, they were more calmer under pressure because they've been in the industry for so long that they've actually got used to it now. And they know how to like organise themselves to work under pressure and work properly as well. So it's basically just about experience, and it will get better as you work on it. So.
From the interviews you did, what would you say the advantages and disadvantages are of being in the media industry?
Advantages has got to be something that you actually enjoy doing, because I've been with interviews they said they actually didn't want to go in the industry, they actually love doing it, they love making the shows, love making the films. And got one disadvantage has got to be I'm not really on a social life, being quite hectic, being put under loads of pressure quite constantly. Another one someone told me was that actually seeing your work actually up there on the big screen, just on the TV or walking through them around and seeing your programs, it kind of gives them a bit of happiness as well. So you actually enjoy looking at it.
Well, advantages I'd say is that it's good. It helps if you actually want to get into the industry, if that's actually what you want to work for, because it will push you to work harder. It will push you to move higher up in the ladder. Like disadvantages, like you said, is mainly just like social life. You've got to be able to understand that you've got to be a mature person working in this industry. You've got to understand that you probably won't have that much of a social life, and if you're just starting off, if you're like a runner or something, you've got to be able to, you've got to be willing to do whatever they want you to do. That's the only way that you're going to actually get anywhere. You've got to do what they want you to do. That's how you start off before you tell anyone what they have to do.